Welcome to the internet. I'm Bruce Mulboxer. Oversaturation in the contemporary market has made it a little difficult to differentiate between the greater releases and the worse ones. Every now and then, however, the online store will usually present us with something genuinely extraordinary. Developed by Number None, Braid was recognized to be one of the most successful indie releases in 2008 on the Xbox Marketplace and on the PlayStation Store a year after that. The game features an art design that bears a stylistic resemblance to an oil painting, enemies you can defeat by jumping on, and inventive ways of navigating around the world such as cloud bridges, all while collecting puzzle pieces that you must recover and assemble into a picture in order to progress. At the center of it all is a man named Tim, a protagonist that seems to give off an aura of deep regret and blunder. Time manipulation is a prevalent mechanic in the game, and because of this, dying is not. Any error you make in the game will be met with an opportunity to rewind back before you misstep and fix accordingly. Chapters are separated by short intermissions that make statements about more common human themes like forgiveness, guilt, and delusion. Your objective is deceptively simple. You are told you must rescue a princess from a monster to complete the game, and you will be rewarded. This is only a surface-level interpretation of the underlying meaning of the game. You see, there's a reason you're going through such a lengthy array of levels to reconcile with the princess that seemingly needs to be saved. You see, Tim made a mistake. An unforgivably dangerous mistake. Stars are the only other thing you can collect in the game aside from puzzle pieces, and they are exceedingly difficult to find. At the start of the game, you pass under what looks to be a constellation of stars. Collecting them will give you two things. First, it will of course reveal the constellation. Second, it will give you a bit of a surprise near the end of the game. Spoilers are inevitable for the remaining portion of this video, so tread carefully. When collecting the 8th star, the final one in the game, you are also following the princess through a course of removable obstructions, all while being chased by an impenetrable wall of fire. Obtaining all the stars will unlock a secret ending, where this happens. So, what happened there? This will usually result in confusion for the average player, but without knowing the rest of the story behind this, the effect of the ending is lost. The final level of the game shows the princess helping you through the obstacles after releasing herself from the grip of the monster. During the epilogue, however, when the ending sequence is rewound, the princess almost looks like she's trying to get away from you, putting obstacles in your path, and eventually being carried off screen to safety by the monster. When it's all said and done, the ending reveals you to be the villain. Your mission was never to rescue anyone. You never really had a mission, and you were misled to think you were devoted to your rescuing of this damsel in distress, when all this time, you were the one causing the distress in the first place. This ending is only unlocked if you find 7 of the 8 hidden stars in the game. Now, a couple minutes ago, I did bring up a mistake Tim made. This is important because it segues us into the next part of this, which is the theory itself. The explosion resembles that of an atomic bomb detonation, leading to a popular and sufficiently evidenced theory that the game has a double meaning, and is metaphorical for the Manhattan Project and the development of the atomic bomb. Our protagonist Tim here is perceived to be one of the leading minds behind this endeavor, which is compatible with the theme of regret and error, seeing as how development of this weapon has always been one of humanity's most shameful mistakes. When Robert J. Lifton wrote his book, The Broken Connection, it was almost immediately recognized as this pinnacle of human moral exploration and answering tough philosophical questions. It was a great read, and it explained a lot about nuclear power and nuclear warfare and the long-term effects on the people who thought they knew what they were doing with it. One passage in the book describes in meticulous detail the detonation of the atomic bomb. On that moment hung eternity. Time stood still. Space contracted to a pinpoint. It was as though the earth had opened and the skies split. One felt as though he had been privileged to witness the birth of the world. It's kinda odd, considering this exact same quote is one of the quotes that appear to you during the epilogue scenes, along with many other quotes from people closely related to the discovery, detonation, and finally, the utilization of the weapon. Another example includes Kenneth Bainbridge, who directly observed the explosion firsthand and was also the first that spoke after the blast, saying, "It worked. Now we are all sons of bitches." The very reason the princess is trying to escape in the first place is directly due to the overt controlling nature of Tim and his obsessive lust for power. None of the events in this game actually transpired in real time. This is nothing more than a dream sequence of one of the scientists, presumably Tim, constructed by his subconscious to mollify his guilt of causing one of the most controversial ethical anomalies we've ever known. When the game is finally complete, you are returned to the title screen with the same dying city posing as a melancholic backdrop. This is where the game insinuates a prediction of its own, where eventually nuclear weaponry will extinguish us all, represented by the city of Manhattan itself, shriveling in a burning ember glow.